So when I was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they were doing a special to Chuck Berry because he was the first inductee. And I thought, well, he's so important to rock and roll, he's deserving of at least 2 performances. So I understand why they had the first performance. I'm not naming any names because he covered a Chuck song and had a hit. But I had the guitar, and my drummer can imitate any voice in the world, and he sings great. And we would have put on a whole show, and I would have done the duck walk, and I'd been and we would have played something that would rock the house, and it wouldn't have been the typical one. Well, I guess they all are typical at this point. But it would have been really rocking. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to do that. So that's how much of a Chuck Berry fan I am. And I begged the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I says, look, you're not inducting Chic. You're going to induct me. So if you're going to induct me for musical excellence, let me do something musical that would be excellent.
He got people dancing and people moving in an extraordinary way when he started.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that in the South, certainly, there were ropes down in the middle of the clubs. Blacks on one side, mm-hmm. Whites on the other. He had an extraordinary way on stage to be able to move that audience. I'm not sure. I'm not going to ask you if you had noticed out of early footage and had heard about it, but the fact was he could actually get those ropes completely broken down because you suddenly, after a while, saw blacks and whites in restricted areas in the early 50s and 60s completely torn down. Nobody could do anything about it.
Right.
By music. Well, what are your thoughts about that?
Come on, man. You're talking to my heart right now. That's why I play music. I was a jazz snob, maybe of the highest order, until the first day I walked into a disco. I could not believe what I saw. I saw Latino people with black people, with gay people, women dancing with women, men dancing with men. I was like going, whoa. I've been playing jazz clubs, which were, pretty heterosexual, and it was, everybody wanted to live like Hugh Hefner or something. And I grew up as a hippie, and I was pretty political. And when I saw that, I thought, there's nothing more unifying than this type of music. This is unbelievable. So what Chuck Berry was able to do, that type of music that makes people dance, there's something in it that's just, and you're right, the security can't control people. I see this happen at our shows all the time. And nothing makes me more proud when I see that audience completely integrated, and they're older, and they're younger, and they're white, and they're black, and they're Latino, they're Native American, they're just everywhere we go in this world. We did a show they were for Mini Dragons, these very wealthy Asian people from the Pacific Rim. And when we were in between songs, all you heard were different Asian languages. As soon as we go into the song, all of a sudden everybody starts singing. Everybody dance, no accent, it's all great, and then poof, song is over, boom, they go back to this din of Asian languages. It's as a artist, as a composer, as a activist, that is more powerful than anything. I mean, you can say to the military, okay, take out your guns, now watch this. You do what you do with your guns, you make people back up. Let me pick up my guitar, and I make people come forward. What do artists want? You want to spread your message to as many people as possible. That's what you want. You don't want to just do it for 10 or 20. And Elvis was able to do that. He had films at his disposal. I mean, he had lots and lots of mediums of expression. Chuck Berry didn't necessarily have that, because if he did a film, it'd be a black film. If Chuck Berry did whatever, it's a black record. If Chuck Berry did it, it's a black thing. So it predominantly would appeal to the black audience first. But Chuck Berry did something really interesting. he crossed over. And that was really important. Every now and then we get an artist who can cross over, and they cross over repeatedly. You get Chuck Berry, as I said, you get a Michael Jackson, you get a Diana Ross, you get somebody that just stands for music and originality. And Chuck did that.